guys, so today I'm bringing you a very exciting video. I've been looking forward to this video since I believe September. I think it was September. But do you guys remember when Yarn Inspirations released their Tangle free yarn in the shape of a donut? I think it was back in September. I have been looking for this yarn everywhere and I finally found it and I am so excited. Not only am I excited because it's tangle free yarn, but it's in the shape of a donut and I love donuts. That is my favorite dessert, breakfast food, pastry, any category it can fall in, it's my favorite. Probably my favorite food, honestly. I love donuts. So when Yarn Inspirations said they were going to release a donut shaped yarn, I was just like, yarn, donuts in one? That makes me so happy. So I was really excited to see this at Michael's. I've been checking in. I guess I haven't been in Michael's for a few months. I've been trying to avoid that place. And yesterday I actually went there and I saw they had a whole display of this yarn and I was so excited that I had to pick one up. And so today's video is going to be a little fun and unique. So today I'm just going to be showing you guys what it looks like, but over the next about week or so I'm actually going to be using this yarn, and then towards the end of the video I'm going to be doing a full review on the yarn, and I'm also going to be doing a review on the pattern that they suggest for this yarn. So for this particular yarn, which is the Caron Big Donut yarn, I believe it's just kind of their basic yarn that you usually can find in their cakes and things like that. They said that you only need one donut and 5 hours to make this scarf right here. So I thought, you know what? Will it only take me 5 hours to make this scarf? Because I don't know about you, but scarves tend to take me a little bit of a long time because it's usually not a ton of stitches, but it's just so dang long. But I am going to see if that actually matches up with the time limit they said, and they said it only should take one donut. So I'm going to be testing that, and then I'm going to make it over the next probably week or two, and I'm going to be logging down my time on how long it's going to take me, how much time I actually work on it, and then I'll add it up at the end and see if it takes me 5 hours or less or more depending on how long it takes me. I tend to be a little bit more on the faster side with knitting. A lot of times I don't even have to look whenever I'm knitting. I just kind of go with it, especially if I memorize the pattern and everything. It seems like not that big of a time span, so I'm kind of curious to see. But anywho, so like I said, this is the Caron Big Donut. It's the O'Go Quick Start yarn. I got in the shade Spiced Ginger, which I just love these colors. It was really hard choosing because they had a lot of vibrant colors, and I'm not a super vibrant person, but this was about as vibrant as I could get. Some of them were way more vibrant than even this one, and it was just too much for me. But I really like this color. I really love the berry color, kind of with like the oranges in there, and then the blue, and then the kind of taupey purpley gray. I think it's going to be really pretty and kind of add a little bit of a pop of color to my outfits. And you get 502 yards, so that's quite a bit of yardage. It doesn't look like it should be that much, and it did retail for $12. I did not get mine on sale. I actually bought another thing of yarn and I got that one 20% off, but I couldn't get this one 20% off also. So $12 seems a little steep in my mind because I think you're paying more for the donut than you are for the yarn. So I'm kind of curious to see how the yarn does hold up. Is it going to be consistent? Because sometimes I notice with the Caron cakes, sometimes they tend to not be super consistent in the thickness. Sometimes they'll be a little bit thinner in some areas and then thicker in other ones, and then it'll be like the normal consistency. So just kind of depending on this yarn, I'm curious to see if it holds up because it is $12, which to me is a little spendy for this much yardage. And like I said, I think it's more you're buying it for the donut form than you are actually for the yarn. And so we're going to see on that. Like I said, I'm going to be using it over the next week or so, and I'll be able to kind of give a better judgment towards the end of it. But yes, so I'm really excited to be doing this, and hopefully it's going to work out. Hopefully there'll be no tangles. That would be kind of funny if there was tangles in it. It's tangle-free yarn. But yeah, so I'm super excited to be doing this, and I will hop back in a couple days or about a week or so and give you a little bit of a update on how the scarf is going. Okay guys, so it's been a few weeks since I filmed the last portion of this video, and I've been working on the scarf that I was talking about, which, by the way, it is taking me way longer than 5 hours. I don't know why they suggested that it only takes 5 hours to make this scarf. I'm a pretty fast knitter, and this is taking me a lot longer than 5 hours. So I am on the third color. I just started it. So I've done the taupey brown shade, the light blue shade, and now I'm kind of on the orangey peach shade. But a flaw came out in this little design. I have been just lugging this everywhere, and it fell apart. Like, literally the orange part just like pulled off, which I guess you can do that to separate the colors, but I was not wanting it to separate. So now I have this huge piece of orange peach chilling that's separate from the, I mean, they're connected, but it fell off basically. And I'm really afraid it's going to become a tangly mess because there's just a lot of yarn falling off of this. So I might actually get tangles because it just completely fell off. So this is definitely a flaw in the design. I feel like the more I use it, the looser it's getting, and then it's just kind of falling off and kind of falling apart a little bit. So I'm really sad though, but I just thought I'd kind of jump on here. Like I said, it's been a few weeks since I filmed the first portion of the video, but I'm kind of sad. I did not want it to fall apart, but it did. So I'm going to continue to use this. It may get tangly, but I wanted to pop on here and just show you guys a little bit of the flaw of the design of the donut. So I'm going to keep working on this though, and hopefully the next time I pop on here I will be all finished with all of my thoughts, and I'll be telling you guys if I like the design or not. Alright everyone, so I have finally finished the scarf. I actually looked back to see when I started this, and I started it on November 22nd, and it is now January 9th, and I actually finished it a couple days ago. So I think it was mid last week I actually finished the scarf, but now I'm just kind of getting around to actually filming the video. But I finally finished it, and I have to say I love this scarf. It is so pretty. I just love how it turned out. All the colors are just so perfect. So it ended up, like I kind of think I mentioned, it started out with like a taupey color, then went to a beautiful light blue, then kind of a peachy orange color, then it went to an orange color, and then to kind of a burgundy reddish pink shade. So pretty. I love it on. It just looks really comfortable, and it's very comfy and squishy, but it's also very bright and vibrant, which I really like during this time of year because sometimes I tend to wear dark colors as I'm wearing a dark colored shirt. And so adding little pops of color through accessories is really kind of what brings me happiness and color to my life. So I'm really excited about that. So I know I mentioned in the first clip, because I kind of did my first clip before I even started, then I came on here and told you guys about my little problem I was having with the yarn, and then now I'm actually done with it. So the actual scarf said it was only supposed to take 5 hours. I don't know how fast these people were working, but this definitely did not take me 5 hours. It took me quite a bit of time. I was going to add up my time, but I noticed I was kind of just picking up, working on it, then I put it down, then I pick up and work on it, then I put it down. So it was kind of hard to actually keep track of how much time I actually spent on it. But I probably have to say it was probably more around 10 hours than 5 hours. And I don't think I'm an extremely slow knitter, but for some reason it just kind of took me a long time. And I noticed once I got through about the first 2.5 colors, the second half went super quick for me. So I don't know if it was just because I saw an end in sight, or if I was just kind of getting in the rhythm of things. But I definitely think that the second half went way faster for me. And I used the Susan Bates. These are the size 8 straight needles. These are my favorite metal straight needles. I absolutely love the Susan Bates line. I just find that the points aren't too pointy where they hurt my fingers, and they're just really comfortable. And I also find that they're kind of not super slippery, but slippery enough where it's very easy to slip off your stitches when you're knitting. So these are my favorite metal straight needles. So I was kind of excited to bust these out and use them again. and then the actual yarn itself. So besides that little hiccup, it was a very easy tangle free, but with that whole color just sliding off of the donut type thing, it actually got pretty tangly, and it wasn't super tangly where I was getting frustrated, but it was definitely tangly enough where I would actually have to stop working and kind of untangle it. I don't know if I just held it wrong and it fell off. I don't think that would happen normally. It was not in a project bag. I was kind of just carrying it from room to room, so I don't know if by me picking it up constantly it just kind of loosened it, because I do know you can pop up off each color and actually snip, so then you could separate and do color pulling, which is basically when you stripe it yourself. It doesn't naturally stripe itself, but you can actually like cut off the colors, so then you can actually make it stripe evenly, or it doesn't stop mid-row. So I don't know if that's kind of what happened, was it was just kind of loose, because they do make it where you can pull each color apart. I don't know. Like I said, I can't really 100% say it's the yarn's fault, because there was me of not having it in a bag and me picking it up constantly and lugging it around, which could have made it fall apart. But that was the only part. Like I said, it wasn't extremely frustrating where I had to cut it or I really had to sit down. There was parts where I did have to stop and kind of unravel it so it would not get super tangly, because it was kind of already trying to tangle itself, which is kind of what I showed you in the video. But I don't think it's 100% the yarn's fault. I do think there's a little bit of user error in that, which would be me. So I'm not going to blame the yarn on that. And I just want to make a little side note of something I'm pretty impressed about with this yarn. There were no knots or anything in this yarn, which was really awesome and kind of exciting for me, because like I said, I know that is a factor for some people, is does the yarn have knots in it? This yarn had no knots for me, so I don't know if I just got a really good skein, or maybe since they are trying to package the yarn a little bit different in the donut-ish shape, that they're watching it where it doesn't have knots in it. So that was really awesome. And I know this is just the Caron donut, their Caron yarn. I'm not really sure exactly what exactly this type of Caron yarn is. It just says the Caron Big Donut O'Go Quick Start Tangle Free Yarn. So I'm not sure exactly which Caron yarn it is, but I mean, it's super soft, super cuddly. I do like it. It was a worsted weight, and yeah, so I have to say I'm pretty impressed with the yarn. It was tangle free, it was kind of fun to use, and actually if once you start on the first color, you can actually use that as a neck pillow, because the donut separates and then you can just put it around your neck and crochet away. You could even go walking and have it around your neck, because you wouldn't even have to carry it anywhere, so that's very handy too. But I have to say I was pretty impressed with the yarn, besides my little hiccup, which I do blame half on myself, because I did not have it in a project bag at the time, and I think that did have something to do with me constantly picking it up all the time. I could have been picking up the same section constantly, and not saying it's super fragile, but it could have messed it up where the color did slide off, causing me to have to kind of work it very easy at it so it wouldn't get tangled. All in all, I have to give this yarn a really good review. I did like it. I do hope they come up with more yarns in this style, so then I could try different ones. This is the only one I have seen in my local Michael's store, so I'm hoping they're going to get some different ones soon. I know they have Red Heart and also some Bernat yarn too, so I'm hoping to see those in the stores, at least stores in my area, very soon, so I could try those out. But I do like it, and I do love the scarf and how it turned out. I just have to weave in the ends per usual, but I do love how it turned out, and I'll definitely have the pattern linked down below for you guys. It's a super easy beginner pattern. All you have to know is how to knit and purl, and you can make this easy peasy. So I do love how that turned out. It was a very easy pattern to follow, and I do appreciate that a lot. I did go down 2 sizes. On the packaging it said a size 9, but in the actual pattern it calls for a size 10. I went down to a size 8 because I was kind of going more off of what this said than what the actual pattern said, and I knew size 10 and 9 I was afraid it was going to be too big of a needle for me, because I tend to be a little bit on the looser side. But yeah, so I definitely like both the yarn and the scarf that I got out of it, and I was happy to be able to spend some time with this yarn and be able to kind of get familiar with it. So I would definitely recommend you guys trying out this yarn. I don't think it's gimmicky. Some things like this I do think like, oh, it's gonna be really gimmicky and they're just trying to sell yarn. I actually think it is tangle free. I just think you have to be a little bit careful with it, and it's probably smart to keep in a project bag and not have it just kind of floating around your craft room or floating around your house. But anyway guys, let me know down in the comments below, have you guys tried the yarn? Do you like it? Did yours fall apart like mine did? But anyway guys, like I said, let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts are if you have tried this yarn out. I would definitely love to know. But anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!